Man, you already know what it is. We back with them Hollywood trades, man. I just wanted to come on real quick and talk about some technicals in gold that I had marked up from previous day markup. I should say earlier in today's session, and how high tech gold is just really high tech as of late. And so I just wanted to help some of the newcomers that really like to get into some of this higher tech movement here. Well, as you can see, I'll just say with the volumetric oscillator here, you can see that we are below the plumb line. And the last rally above the plumb line was the biggest rally we had, and then after that, right, cross back, and as you can see, it's just the volume is just coming in the way it's coming in, right? And so we're trying to recreate some more of this action here. I don't like to talk about that because it's not popular fashion these days in the ICT Muppet land. So let's just talk some Muppet talk here. I actually have these zones, as you already know. I've been had these zones marked out. You see what I mean? This high resistance zone here and this high resistance zone here. When it gets in between these two, it just likes to channel here. It's not too much stress or pressure in these zones here. Or I should say in this zone here. I had the soup marked off from yesterday from here before it got here, and it did soup and come above, but it is not. It is putting in swing highs underneath the soup point, and that is not a soup. So I need to actually change this to. That was an impulsive break, so I'll just say break a structure, because this was definitely an impulsive break. It turned from what I thought would have been a soup into an impulsive break. It broke, and it has impulses thereafter. Let's just appreciate how technical this zone is. Boom, this was a breaker, right? Which means that after a high snatch, then break of that low, which was a higher low, which was supposed to hold the price up, it impulsively broke that. I did not mark it off as a break because it was a breaking. It was supposed to hold a higher low to a higher high, supposed to hold here, and it did not hold. So you can expect everything that happened here thereafter. It did come back to mitigate, or I actually traded the buy coming through here in a short, quick scalp to a take profit from about here to here. But this is what concerned me. This was a stretch into what was a higher low that had it came directly out of an imbalance to the stretch. So halfway between this and in the premium of this was an FVG that was traded through and then traded back through. This area is high liquidity here, just here, right? I still want to know how this came to be, how this was come to be found out, but nonetheless, it seems to always work. And so when you have a breaker, you expect it to travel back up into this. Don't ask me why. It just is what it is. Boom. Traveled way through it. Snatched buy side again. There is no FEG here on the hourly. But nonetheless, it did try this block after the Reaper. In everything thereafter, you don't expect it to close above the breaker. You don't expect it to close above the Reaper. And it did none of that, right? So this could have been an easy short, in my opinion, but I took my handles and took my tail back to nap my day away. I want to be young forever, so I am trading and napping today is what happened. But I did break this long hourly imbalance into a PD. And as you can see, it is respecting the lower half. It does not want to trade up into the upper half of this PD here. That is just all to be expected in our classical trading. Also, you have the midnight line, which was residing at around the 75% retracement into this PD, and respected, right, as to be expected, right? And so I just wanted to bring all that technicality into play because it used this whole array very properly today in this session. As we see, we got a breaker structure, resistance, support, broken, turn to resistance is what they call, right? Mitigation in the Muppet community. I'm a Muppet, I'm a hybrid Muppet, I come from the olden days of trading, as a lot of you know, but I am a newly converted Muppet. No disrespect to ICT, but you do sound like Kermit the Frog, my boy. So I am happy to be a Muppet, and I am a smart Muppet. So that's all I have so far right now. As we see, we are getting some handle play here, some pippage. So we can expect this to hold. This is inversion, which was here. This was the inversion. I'm going to go ahead and mark that off for people who don't use inversions. We can expect this inversion to hold, maybe, right? And so keep everything clean. And if not, this FVG we can expect to hold. And so I don't usually mark FVGs, but because we are at the bottom of the chart, and to me this is a very important zone to watch right now, I'm going to mark this FVG. Hourly, is hourly higher time frame? Yeah, I guess, maybe. Whatever it's going to be today. So that is our dynamic support that we are working with right now on gold. I did want to go to NASDAQ for one moment, actually in its liquidity profile, to show what I didn't show before in my Sunday review. And this is something I was anticipating because this red zone here was actually up to here, if I'm not mistaken. This red zone was up to here, and I was expecting price to dip into that's a daily imbalance. That's what was left behind on Friday, and it got traveled into here, and it was up to here, and then it rejected, right? And then subsequently respected, right? This block was subsequently respected here for what I would say is, it wasn't an easy long, but after this break, it became an easy long. And then you got an inversion, right? Boom, inversion, which was respected from here, right? This here to here became the inversion respect zone. After rejection and a subsequent close, right? Underneath that and underneath this imbalance, boom, that would have been my entry trigger. I would have just simply went for a few handles and I would have gotten out here. As you guys know, I like to keep it simple with my entry and exits. I just want to live the trader lifestyle, right? I want to get on here and bang in, bang out without thinking too much. If you draw on liquidity was here, that would have been an easy take profit as well. As I said, I don't like to bang on draw on liquidity because I just want my easy 30 to 40 to 50 handles, right? I just want to set that for that and call it what it is. If I can get 50, like I would have originally thought, especially with this imbalance being here, as the draw, this was easy feeling. As you see, as it drew into that, there was just a drop into that imbalance, clearing this. After it cleared this, it was satisfied, but created a crazy order flow here that just halted price and sent it deeper into that imbalance. Now that we are in this imbalance with resistance, order flow, all depending on news and all depending on what stocks do is anyone's guess, but we do have our lines of support and resistance. Daily previous low here, of course, obviously left a previous high on today here, and then you have another previous low down there and another previous low with another small imbalance there. So we did not attack previous daily low. We are just leaving liquidity behind for the week. Do I foresee us traveling back up into a new all-time this week? Who knows? But I wanted to just get on here and talk about that for people who just want to know different perspectives on price action, according to the Muppet Talk and according to a few other things. So I like to keep my analysis hybrid, and that is what we do here. As you can see, that It's Impossible is at work here heavily. Leaving lines behind is a great trigger. As it left this behind and wasn't able to approach this block that left it, right? It hit this block, right? This block right here was the power, and this gap was the fuel. So I did not trade that. Like I said, I made my handles on a Monday and decided to live the luxurious lifestyle, right? And so that's all I have right now. I am signing off. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more of this. And that's about it. We keep it short and clean.